Hello, it's Aurelio Porfiri speaking. Welcome to our Cantus podcast. Today, I want to talk about sacred music and not only, and its relationship with intellectual property. So, this means we have to pay for sacred music. Is sacred music free? Now, this we have to answer in a more articulate way. Um, we have to understand the work of the creator as a work that has at least two elements, one material element and one spiritual element. Of course, the spiritual element of a creation is something that you cannot pay. You cannot put a value on the spiritual value of the Pietà by Michelangelo, painting by Caravaggio, or a motet by Palestrina, and so on. This not. But uh, we are not just pure spirits or angel. We have also in the creative process there is also a material part. This material part is done by many things, and I just want to tell about some of them, like for example the time that is needed to write a particular composition. It can be 10 minutes or 10 years, but you spend some time there doing something instead than doing something else that maybe you can make a profit. Because we are not angels. We have to eat, we have to dress ourselves, we have to live somewhere, we have families to feed. So we have to understand that this material element, that, as I say, is the time you spend doing that kind of creation, but also the time you spend before studying, because you cannot do something good if you are not prepared yourself before. And not only this kind of training is a continuous training. A composer or even a singer or a performer, we are continuously improving ourselves. And also for this, we have to spend money, because there are the books, the courses, the workshops, or whatever you want to you want to think about this. So it's very important to understand that all this creative process has cost. Of course, people say, "Oh no, but the things that are done for God should be free, because He give you freely your talent, and so you have to give back to Him freely." But of course, we are not we are not saying that something that is done for God has to be paid uh, for uh, for its spiritual value. Not at all. But there are material things that, of course, have a cost. The work of the person, and the time is spent, and the studies, and all the things I have already said. uh, you take another example. For example, you build a church. Of course, the spiritual value of the church is not on the market. But what is on the market is that church need an architect, need people that build concretely the church, and many other things. And of course, all these things have a cost. And I can go on and on. A priest, uh, we should say, oh, a priest is one of the highest vocation, so he should do it just for God without being paid. But that would be really silly, because if the priest has not any stipend, how he can live? So that is something that we needed really to take into account when we speak about this topic. I want to emphasize more and more that intellectual property is uh, uh, an important and fundamental right of people. It is something that belongs to the creator, and as such, has to be respected. But of course, there is also the other side of the coin, you know. So we say, oh, but sometimes the publisher make many problems and they try to squeeze even the tiniest amount of money from the creation they are managing. And you may be right. This is the other extreme. There are too much regulations that discourage also the fair use of musical composition or whatever. Professor Lawrence Lessig say, and I quote, "Over-regulation stifles creativity, it smothers innovation. It gives dinosaurs a veto over the future. It wastes the extraordinary opportunity for a democratic creativity that digital technology enables." End of quotation. And this is true, and especially in a time like this one, where we are really immersed in a technological revolution. I mean, we can do things now that we can never think we can do maybe 20 years ago. I can remember my adolescence, and I can never even dream that I may have all these kind of possibilities that technology uh, gives me. It's really a change that we may define also as unprecedented. Of course, when we speak about sacred music, we have to make a difference, and this the publisher have to help between small churches and big churches, especially in countries like, for example, my country. We don't have like the entrepreneur approach that, for example, in the United States, uh, they have to run churches. No, we have not that kind of approach. So really, the money is never enough. So we need to find a way to give what is due to the composers, to the performers, to the singers, and also, save the economic balance of the church. But I'm sure that if one wants a solution can be found. The problem is that, and unfortunately, especially among priests, the social doctrine of the church is spoken a lot, but is practiced very little. So this is one of the big problems. But it's true that the, the publisher should find a balance between their rights and also the right of other people to use the music, because this, I think, is something very important. So we need to be very uh, severe with the people that are exploiting the creativity of other people. This may be exploiting the creativity of writers, exploiting the creativity of composers, exploiting the creativity of poets. I mean, every kind of creativity should be respected. And people that take advantage of certain situation to use the work of other people to gain personal advantages, I think is something very mean. So I hope you enjoy this podcast, and please, if you have a comment, you put it below, and I will be very happy to read your comments. For the moment, thank you very much, and I hope to see you on our next podcast. Bye bye.